Today I want to show you why you have to change your whole mindset around your goals, why you have to set much bigger goals if you want to 10x your life. Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. So I've talked about Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan's upcoming book, 10x is easier than 2x, a few times. And I'm going to continue talking about it once more today because, well, one, I did a reel today that I talked about why you have to set bigger goals. And then in the entrepreneur coaching group, we went through a lot of the training of this book. And there's some great things on it. And I just want to share it with you as well. Now, the book comes out May 9th, depending on when you're listening to this. I'll have the link in the show notes that you can pre-order it. Strongly suggest you get it. It's an incredible book. But what I want to talk about for a moment here is the whole process of setting goals. You know, in the book, they talk about the importance of setting big goals because they use a story from a Joe Polish mastermind group when Joe asked, you know, what do you have to do this year to increase your profits by 10%? And the answer from Dr. Bernard that was there was that, you know, that's actually a terrible question because there's infinite things we can do to improve our profits by 10%. Now, if you would have said, what do we have to do to 10x our profits? That's a much better question because really there are very limited things that we can do that will allow us to 10 times our profits. And once we do that, we have specific things to focus on. And so when we look at our goals, if you just set goals like most people do, and they're not big goals, what Dr. Bernard called impossible goals, you don't have to change your thinking. You don't have to change how you currently do things. And it really doesn't change who you are because there's infinite ways you can do it. There's infinite ways you can achieve those goals if they're not big enough. Now, when you set the goals that are big enough, there's almost nothing that'll work that's going to help you achieve that. But when you can look at it and say, okay, I've got to identify the few conditions that would have to take place for me to achieve those, then you can narrow your focus. You know, that you look at it as, okay, that goal would be impossible unless what? What would you have to make a reality to make it so it wasn't impossible? What conditions need to be true? And that's where you can put your focus. You know, in the book, they talk a lot about the 80-20 rule, that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Well, 20% of your efforts of what you're doing right now is what you should be focusing on if you're trying to 10x your life. The other 80% needs to be eliminated, delegated, automated, whatever. We've done it before when I've gone through the not to-do list. Create your list of everything you do on a daily basis and then decide what can be eliminated, what can be automated, what can be delegated. You've got to figure those things out so that you can focus 100% of your time and energy and efforts on the 20% of your unique ability that's going to help you achieve those bigger goals. So when you look at that, how do you determine, in Benjamin Hardy talks about it, how do you determine what that 20% is and what's the 80% that you shouldn't be putting your focus into? One, you've got to really be specific. What is your goals? What are your goals? Figure out what your goals are, what your why is behind your goals. And just like any journey, you've got to have that starting point and where you're trying to finish. Once you know and have a clear definition of what your goals are, you know what that path forward is, then you can figure out what is the 20% that I need to focus on that is going to help me get there. Because if it's a big enough goal, you've got to have a change. There's only a limited number of things that you can do that's going to help you achieve that goal. Small goals don't require the 80-20 thinking because small goals don't require you to adjust much. You can continue doing what you're going to do. As Dan Sullivan says, what got you here isn't going to get you there. If you want to have massive growth, you have to do something different. Now, the second part of Benjamin Hardy's answer to that, of what's required, is you've got to have bigger goals. You've got to look at those impossible goals, as they called it. And when you do that, then you're going to be able to look at things and say, okay, if I'm looking at this 10x through a 10x filter, and everything I need to do goes through this 10x filter, then it's easy to see the things that aren't going to help me 10x. It's easy to see the things that aren't going to help me achieve my goals, and those are the things that need to be eliminated. And so it makes it obvious which things that you need to focus on. Now, if you're trying to 2x your goals, there's a lot of that 80% you can continue to do. But if you want to 10x, you've got to have much bigger goals, and you've got to be able to focus your time and attention on the 20% of your unique ability. That's a very quick recap of that whole idea of the big goals and the 80-20 rule. I strongly suggest go get the book when it comes out, pre-order it. I'll put the link in the show notes so that you can pre-order it. If you're in the entrepreneur coaching group, the replay of our full training is in your membership area. Go check that out. But the other thing that I want to talk about today, because it is Friday, your accountability. On Monday, I said, okay, what do you have to do this week so that on Friday when we look back, you can say, 1, it's been a successful week. 2, you're closer to bigger goals. Did you do those things? Be accountable. Do you have an accountability coach, an accountability partner, an accountability group? If you don't, reach out to me. Let me get you set up in one, because daily accountability is key to your success. It's really a game changer. You know, my accountability coach, Bart Miller, has really been a game changer for me, that every single day I've got a call with him and I've got to be accountable to the things I said I was going to do yesterday. I work with accountability groups within ClickFunnels and I coach them, and the ones that are consistent on the calls every day being accountable are the ones that are making changes. So be accountable and you're going to make some big changes. If you want to 10x your results, do these things I was talking about, but you're not going to do it if you're not accountable. All right, have a great weekend. Thanks for being with me this week. Be accountable, stay focused, big things coming. See you on Monday. Athletes put a lot of time, money, and effort into the physical aspect of their sport, but they often neglect the mental game. And the mental game, it's just as important as the physical. In fact, it's often the differentiating factor between good and great athletes. If you really want to reach your full potential, if you want to be a great athlete, you've got to pay attention to the mental game. Now, come and join us in the Confident Athlete program, where you're going to learn how to develop powerful mindset, extreme self-confidence, and really take your game to the next level. Come and check us out at confidentathleteprogram.com/membership. Who you surround yourself with really does matter. The people you associate with and spend time with have a huge impact on who you become and what you do in your life. Hi, my name is Jeff Heggie, and I want to tell you about my Inner Circle Mastermind group. This is a group that's designed to surround you with like-minded high achievers who will help you to think bigger and amplify the performance of your business and your life while tearing down all the barriers that are holding you back. A mastermind is the fastest way to get you to the next level. If you're ready to network and connect with other successful entrepreneurs and influencers, go to coachheggie.com/mastermind.